Discover the incredible life-changing moment when a millionaire's mute daughter finally speaks. The summer sun poured down on Maplewood, a quaint suburb where whispers danced on the breeze, and the sweet scents of baked goods filled the air. Claire's heart raced as she watched Lily, her sweet 9-year-old girl, dangling her feet off the curb, her silence heavy in the lively chatter around them. Claire felt a tightness in her chest, a mix of determination and yearning. She longed to hear Lily's voice, to witness the day her daughter would finally express all the dreams and fears locked inside her. Every day was a battle for survival. Claire juggled 2 part-time jobs, always kissed by exhaustion yet fueled by love. Whispers from neighbors echoed in her ears, pity wrapped in kindness. Yet, despite the world's narrow view of their struggles, Claire pressed on. At night, she shared stories with Lily, fostering resilience and hope, breathing life into the darkness that sometimes threatened to pull them under. Working in the local cafe had become an unexpected refuge. It buzzed with laughter and shared tales. As Claire wiped down the counter, veterans filled the seats, their eyes sparkling with camaraderie. And there was something about their laughter, their bond, that reminded Claire of fortitude. They reminded her of community. Every smile, every story of hardship and survival encouraged her to keep pushing forward. Yet, while she connected with them, Lily sat apart, often a quiet observer on the fringe of life. Then Megan appeared, the millionaire's daughter, lighting up the town with her glitzy presence and an air of entitlement. She tossed out mocking remarks like confetti, leaving Lily feeling smaller, more isolated. Claire's heart broke for her daughter, who could not fight back with words. But then came Claire's moment of bravery as she confronted a jibe thrown at a veteran. Watching her mother stand tall sparked something in Lily, a flicker of something fiercely beautiful. Fueled by newfound courage, Lily embarked on a journey of her own. The local talent show loomed on the calendar, and she decided to join, pouring her heart into rehearsals in the quiet of their home. Every note she practiced resonated with hope, each lyric a pathway to her untold story. As the big night arrived, Claire's nerves tingled in the air, thick with anticipation. Familiar faces filled the auditorium, and for the first time, pride surged within Lily like fireworks threatening to burst free as she walked onto that stage. Confidence radiated from her. But the moment was shattered. Someone in the audience made an insensitive remark. It wormed its way through the crowd, turning supportive murmurs into a wave of judgment. Claire's heart sank. The love they shared felt momentarily fragile amidst the chaos. Their bond stretched thin. As Lily hesitated, eyes wide and searching for her mother's reassurance, Claire's spirit felt like it was on the cusp of shattering. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. With a flicker of uncertainty, Lily took a deep breath. Something in the air shifted. A sense of urgency hung around them. It was now or never. Just as Lily summoned all the strength she had, her gaze met Claire's. An ocean of love, encouragement, and an unspoken promise surged between them. In that single heartbeat, the world held its breath, and the possibility of hope flickered. What would happen next? Would this be the moment they had always dreamed of, or would the shadows of doubt snuff it out? Lily stood frozen on that stage, her heart pounding against her ribcage like a wild drummer. The jeering voice still echoed in her ears, tainting the encouraging claps from the crowd around her. Shadows of doubt crept in, threatening to curl around her spirit like vines tightening their grip. But as she looked into her mother's eyes, Claire's unwavering faith sparked a flame deep within her. With a shaky breath, she thought of the countless afternoons spent rehearsing in front of their living room mirror, belting out notes with reckless abandon. She remembered the way she poured her heart into every song, the lyrics becoming her voice when words failed her. This was her chance to shed the silence that had cloaked her for so long. Tears threatened to slip down her cheeks, but nothing could stop her now. Lily took a step forward, feeling the warmth of the spotlight on her face, melting away the icy fear. Her voice, though timid at first, rang clear and true. I'm gonna sing," she whispered, almost as a promise to herself. The room quieted, the whispers fading into an expectant hush as if the world paused to hear her. With every word she sang, she felt the weight of 1,000 unspoken thoughts lift. The melody flowed like a river, and those notes became the bridge to her hidden emotions, her struggles, and her victories. She sang of the nights spent wishing for courage, of the silent battles fought within. Each lyric was a step toward freedom, breaking through the cage of her silence. Audience members exchanged glances, the transformation unfolding before their eyes. Claire's heart raced, her pulse syncing with the rhythm of Lily's voice, building both pride and hope. In that moment, the laughter of the audience morphed from judgment to support, their cheers swelling like the tide. But Megan's mocking voice clung to the edges of Lily's mind. Doubt danced back in, pestering her to unravel. What if it wasn't enough? What if the laughter didn't hold the same warmth Claire radiated? But deep down, a new ember of belief ignited. She sang louder, fiercer. As the last note soared into the auditorium, silence enveloped the crowd for a heartbeat. Then, it erupted into applause. It was not just polite clapping but an overwhelming wave of appreciation and love. Lily's eyes shone with disbelief, a mixture of astonishment and joy washing over her. She had done it. She spoke her truth, even if it was through song. Claire jumped to her feet, tears streaming down her cheeks. Her heart soared like a kite caught in the wind. She felt her own chains of worry disintegrate, replaced by an overwhelming sense of pride for her daughter's bravery. The world was not against them. It was a tapestry of people willing to listen. If only given the chance. That as Lily looked out at the sea of faces, her breath hitched. There was something familiar about the jubilant cheers and applause. Among the crowd, she spotted a figure she hadn't noticed before. Megan. Instead of mockery, there was something different in her eyes. Was that respect? Admiration? But before Lily could process it, the spotlight dimmed, and a rush of emotions washed over her, making her dizzy. She felt alive, truly alive. Tomorrow's struggles already loomed in her mind. Would she have the courage to continue speaking her truth? What would her life look like now? The standing ovation echoed in her ears, an uncertain melody blending with newfound hope. Claire rushed to the stage, enveloping Lily in a fierce hug. Together, they stood beneath the fading lights, a young girl finding her voice amid a chorus of acceptance. While outside the auditorium, the summer breeze whispered secrets of new beginnings. The fragile bond of silence had been shattered, but what awaited beyond that moment? Would they finally be free of judgment? Or was this just the first step on a more challenging path? As Claire held her daughter tightly, staring into the bright future ahead, uncertainty loomed. What were the consequences of Lily's brave choice to break her silence? Lily's heart raced as she stepped off the stage, still buzzing from the electric energy that had surged through her just moments ago. The applause felt like a warm embrace, but as she took in the world around her, waves of uncertainty crashed over her. Had she really changed anything? Would her voice be heard beyond this moment, or would it fade back into the shadows? Claire squeezed Lily's hand, grounding her as they pushed through the throng of people who wanted to congratulate her. The smiles and kind words wrapped around her like a cocoon. "You were amazing, Lily," one woman gushed, her eyes sparkling with pride. "You have such a gift." But beneath the surface of those glowing endorsements, doubt crept back in. What if the world outside this auditorium wasn't ready to fully embrace her? What if she slipped back into the silence she had fought so hard to escape? They finally made their way outside, the cool evening air running against Lily's flushed cheeks. The sky was streaked with pink and gold, and the sunset cast a magical glow on everything. But her mind was clouded, thoughts swirling like autumn leaves in a storm. Claire's voice cut through her haze. "You did it, honey. You really sang." She beamed, a light shining in her eyes that made Lily's heart swell. "Did you see Megan?" Lily asked hesitantly, searching her mother's face for insight. She looked different. Claire nodded slowly, understanding the weight of Lily's words. Sometimes people need to see strength before they can change their minds. You showed her that tonight. As they walked to the car, the adrenaline began to fade, replaced by an odd tiredness. Lily felt drained, both exhilarated and terrified at what lay ahead. A true battle was brewing in her mind, one that extended beyond a single performance. Once inside the car, Claire turned to her. "What's next for you? What do you want to do with this new power?" There was no pressure in Claire's question, only a sincere curiosity. Lily stared out the window, watching the world speed by. "I want to keep singing," she whispered, almost to herself. "But I don't know if I can keep showing everyone this side of me." Claire smiled softly, placing a reassuring hand on Lily's knee. "Well, we'll figure it out together. Just take it one step at a time. It's okay to feel scared, but you're not alone. You've found your voice. Now let it guide you." The night air felt thick with possibilities. But for every spark of hope, a shadow lingered. Would she be able to sing again without the weight of fear dragging her down? How would her peers react now that they had seen the real Lily? As they pulled into the driveway, Lily glanced back at her mother. "We can go home, right? I don't want to face anyone else just yet." "Absolutely," Claire said, flicking off the engine. "Just us for a little while. Let us celebrate your amazing achievement." But as they stepped through the front door, the house felt different. There was a strange tension in the air. Claire's phone buzzed. She glanced at the screen and inhaled sharply, eyes widening. Claire's voice trembled, and dread began to seep into the corners of Lily's heart. "It's about the audition. They want to talk to you, and there's something you need to know." Lily's breath caught, a new fear solidifying in her stomach. The night had promised hope, but what fresh challenges awaited? With her mother's worried expression looming, uncertainty threatened to swallow her whole. What could possibly await them in the conversation that was about to unfold? Lily stood frozen in the doorway, her heart pounding against her ribs like a frantic drummer. Claire was still staring at her phone, her face a mix of concern and something unnameable. With each second that passed, the pulse of anxiety grew louder in Lily's ears. "What do they want?" she finally managed to ask. Her voice was barely above a whisper, hoarse with worry. Claire looked up, meeting Lily's gaze. It's about the callback for the music program. They want to discuss your performance and there's news about Megan." Lily's stomach twisted. The thought of facing her classmates again felt heavy, like an anchor weighing her down. Did they say anything bad? "No, not bad. Just complicated," Claire said, her tone careful. "I think they want to talk about the impact your singing had on her, on everyone. Really, there's a chance Megan could open up, you know?" This wasn't what Lily wanted to hear. The anticipation was thick in the air, suffocating. For every moment of triumph from the performance, the shadows of doubt shadowed it like a storm cloud. But what if she doesn't? What if it all just goes back to normal? Claire stepped closer, wrapping her arms around Lily, enveloping her in warmth. "Then it goes back to normal. But you've changed, honey. Your voice is powerful, don't you see that? Either way, whatever happens next, you did something extraordinary tonight." Lily felt the familiar swell of emotion rising within her. It was strange how easily she could shift from exhilaration to fear. What if they expect me to speak up now every time? What if I disappoint them? "You won because this is about you. You don't owe anyone anything," Claire reassured her. But Lily could see the worry flicker behind her mother's eyes. Without thinking, she stepped away, needing space to breathe. She paced the living room, her fingers brushing against the furniture, the photographs lining the walls, the memories of her childhood. Each reminder of her old self drummed the mantra, "Keep quiet, don't cause trouble." "Lily," Claire's voice broke through the fog of her thoughts. "It's about more than just a song. It's about connection. It's about you stepping into who you are. You showed that tonight." Lily looked out the window, the night already swallowing the last hints of color from the sky. "But do I really belong in this world now? What if they see me as someone I'm not?" Claire approached, resting her hand gently on Lily's shoulder. You are who you are, darling. You've always been enough. But it's okay to be scared. It's okay to be unsure. No matter what happens with Megan or anyone else, you're still our Lily, smart, talented, beautiful. Her mom's words filled the room, saturating it with love and hope. But in the core of Lily's heart, uncertainty still lingered. The conversation ahead loomed like a storm on the horizon. Before she could say anything more, Claire's phone buzzed again. Claire glanced at it, her expression morphing into something serious. Lily, they're waiting for your answer. Are you ready? The weight of the moment hung heavily, pulling her in every direction. Could she face whoever was on the other side of that call? The chance to truly change things for herself or for Megan sat before her like an open door. Lily took a deep breath, summoning her courage. I think so, she said finally, though her voice trembled as Claire held the phone out. Lily felt the air shift around her, a mix of tension and possibility. Could this be the moment she stepped fully into her new life? Or would the fear pull her back into the shadows again? With her heart racing, she took the phone, her hands shaking as she prepared to embrace whatever was waiting on the line. What awaited her on the other end? Would her voice finally break the silence that had held her captive all these years? Lily took a deep breath, her heart pounding louder than ever. She pressed the phone to her ear, her fingers trembling. The room felt small, closing in as she waited for the voice on the other end. Hello, Lily? It was Mr. Anderson, the music program director. His tone was warm but serious. Thanks for taking our call. We know it's late, but we needed to speak with you about your amazing performance and Megan. Lily couldn't find her voice. A flood of emotions surged inside her. All the confidence she'd felt on stage evaporated into anxiety. She managed to whisper a soft, "Okay. First off, I just want to say how proud we all are of you," he continued. Your singing was exceptional. It's always difficult to watch someone hold back. But you broke through. That's what we want to talk about today. Your potential and Megan. The mention of Megan made Lily's heart sink. She wanted to ask 1,000 questions about her friend, about the other kids, but the words froze on her tongue. How is she? She finally asked, her voice small. She is still processing everything, but your performance inspired her. We think she might be ready to talk, Mr. Anderson said, hesitation woven into his words. But it might take some encouragement. Lily's stomach twisted tighter, her mind racing. What if Megan didn't want to talk? Her friend had always seemed so fragile. Did she have the strength to help? Lily, we believe you can be a leader in this situation, Mr. Anderson pressed gently. Your voice has always been special, and it can bridge the gap. Megan respects you greatly. If anyone can reach her, it's you. Lily's breath hitched. A million what-ifs flooded her mind. Did she really have that impact? All she wanted was to hide again, to go back to being the quiet girl everyone overlooked. But a flicker of something else sparked within her a sense of responsibility. They really needed her. With the weight of so many eyes crawling back into her consciousness, she wrestled with the idea of stepping out of her comfort zone. What if I try and fail? She whispered, the fear creeping back. Failure is a part of growing, Lily. But you won't fail, Mr. Anderson reassured her, his voice firm yet kind. You've already taken the first step by performing. That courage, that strength, you can use it again. Lily felt the warmth of her mother's presence behind her, a silent support. She thought of her performance, of all the faces that changed when she sang, how their hearts opened in that moment. Was it worth it? Could her voice really bring change? I want to try, she said finally, her voice stronger this time, a surge of hope igniting within her. The uncertainty faded for a moment, replaced with the raw desire to connect. She could be the one to help. Great, Mr. Anderson said, his enthusiasm palpable. We'll arrange a meeting for you and Megan. If you're up for it, we can set it for this Friday. Lily's heart raced at the thought. Friday felt so close and yet so far. She glanced back at Claire, who beamed with pride. Yes, I'll do it, she said, knowing the gravity of her choice. Thank you. As the call ended, she felt a rush of energy, a mix of excitement and fear swirling together in a chaotic dance. The door to a new beginning was opening, but it was still shadowed by what lay ahead. "Lily, I'm so proud of you," Claire said, enveloping her in a tight embrace. All at once, Lily felt both strength and tenderness radiating from her mother. But the anticipation of what awaited her on Friday was daunting. Would she be able to help Megan find her voice again? Lily looked out at the night sky, where the stars began to glimmer, uncertain but bright. What if this was the turning point she'd been looking for? Would she rise to the occasion? As the questions remained, she felt something shift, a glimpse of the power within her just waiting to break free. The days leading up to Friday crawled by, each one holding its own weight in worry and anticipation. Lily tried to focus on school, to push thoughts of her meeting with Megan aside, but it was like trying to ignore a storm brewing on the horizon. Every glance at the clock felt like a reminder of how little time she had before everything changed. Claire noticed Lily's distraction. "You okay? You've been a bit quiet," she asked one morning over breakfast, concern etched on her face. "I'm just thinking," Lily said, staring at her scrambled eggs. Her mind was spinning with possibilities. What would she say to Megan? What if she didn't know how to reach her? Her mother reached across the table, gently squeezing her hand. "Just be yourself. You've always had a way with words when it counts," she encouraged, her eyes sparkling like the morning sun filtering through the kitchen window. Thoughts of Megan flooded in again, memories of late-night talks, shared dreams, and laughter. The heaviness in Lily's chest lifted slightly at those images, hope mingling with anxiety. Yet a question lingered: how much had Megan been holding back? Friday arrived, and Lily felt a whirlwind of emotions whirling in her stomach. She paced in her room, anxiety gnawing at her. The butterflies in her belly transformed into a swarm, and she almost considered canceling. But the thought of Megan pushed her forward. They both had so much to share, so much to explore together. After school, as the sun dipped lower in the sky, she made her way to the meeting place, a cozy cafe that buzzed softly with chatter. The scent of fresh coffee and pastries lingered in the air, but Lily barely noticed. The world outside melted away, and all she could focus on was the task ahead. With a nod to herself, she pushed the door open. The little bell chimed, and she stepped inside. But instead of Megan sitting at one of the tables, she found Mr. Anderson, compassion shining in his eyes. She felt an immediate squeeze in her heart. "Lily," he greeted warmly, beckoning for her to join him. "I'm glad you made it. I think Megan will be here any minute." Lily sat down, suddenly aware of her racing heartbeat. What if she doesn't want to talk? What if she is still stuck? The question slipped out before she could hold it back. "Every journey starts with a single step," he replied, a reassuring smile on his face. "Megan trusts you. You have a special way of reaching her. Just be there for her." Just as the words settled, the door swung open, and in walked Megan. Her eyes glanced around, uncertainty written on her face until they met Lily's. For a moment, silence enveloped the room, their gazes locking in a shared vulnerability. "Megan!" Lily exclaimed, her voice finding its strength. She pushed back her own nerves and smiled, hoping to ease the tension. Megan managed a small smile back, but it wavered slightly. "Hey, Lily, I wasn't sure about this," she admitted softly, her hands fidgeting in her pockets. Lily took a deep breath, recalling the weight of her own fears before she took the stage. "Neither was I. But I wanted to see you. I wanted to talk about everything." An almost imperceptible nod from Megan made Lily's heart flutter. As they settled into the conversation, Lily realized that this was more than just a meeting. It was a chance for both of them to find their voices again. Each question Lily asked began to peel back layers of silence, revealing the emotions Megan had hidden for so long. But just when Lily felt they were making progress, Megan's eyes clouded over. The storm brewing around them shifted, and for a moment, Lily feared the conversation might head back into silence. "Megan, you're not alone," she urged gently. "Please let me in." What would happen if Megan couldn't find the words? Would Lily's courage be enough to help her friend break through? As the tension filled the air, Both girls could either take a leap into the unknown or retreat back into the shadows of their fears. But what if this was the moment that changed everything? Would they both emerge stronger on the other side? A heavy silence settled between them, and Lily could almost feel the weight of Megan's unspoken thoughts. Their usual banter felt like a distant memory, replaced by a more profound struggle beneath the surface. The cafe buzzed around them, but all Lily could hear was the rush of her own breathing and the slight tremor in Megan's voice as she finally spoke. "I've been feeling so lost," Megan began, her words tumbling out like rocks dislodged from a mountainside. "One minute I'm fine, then the next, everything just spirals. I thought I could handle it, but I can't." Lily leaned forward, her heart aching for her friend. "You don't have to handle it alone," she replied firmly. "We can figure this out together." Megan's shoulders slumped, but she looked up, meeting Lily's gaze. There was something fragile in those dark depths, like a flickering candle on a stormy night. "But what if I just stay stuck?" The fear in her voice sliced through Lily. "Then we'll find a way to unstick you," Lily said, offering a hint of a smile to lighten the moment. "Remember when we got lost hiking that one time? We'll just retrace our steps." Megan laughed quietly, the sound like a small break in the clouds. "You mean the time we ended up at that random diner and ate way too many fries?" "Exactly." Lily chuckled, but the laughter faded quickly into earnestness. "I want you to know that even though it feels overwhelming right now, you have the strength to push past it. Just talk to me. Let it out." Megan's eyes glimmered with tears, and for a moment, she looked as if she might emerge fully from the shadowy corner where she had been hiding. "It's just with everything happening at home, my parents fighting, and how alone I feel, I didn't think anyone would understand." The truth felt like a punch to Lily's gut. "You're not alone. I do understand more than you think. Let's unpack this. Start with whatever feels the heaviest," she urged gently. A long silence followed, as if Megan was summoning the courage to lift the weight off her chest. But just then, the cafe door swung open, and in walked a group of loud, excited teenagers. They laughed and shouted, their carefree camaraderie cutting through the intimacy of the moment. And for a brief second, both girls flinched at the intrusion. Megan's gaze flickered to them, her expression shifting. "Maybe this was a bad idea," she murmured, drawing back into the cocoon of uncertainty that cloaked her. "Don't pull away," Lily said quickly. "This is just a distraction. You had the courage to come here. Keep that courage with you." Megan held her breath, eyes wide, and Lily's heart raced. Would she choose to speak or retreat once again? "Megan," Lily leaned in closer. "What do you really want to say? You can start slow. Just one word. Just one truth." But something flickered behind Megan's eyes, something that felt monumental yet terrifying. As the noise around them dulled into a haze, time seemed to hang. If Megan found her words, it would alter everything. But if not, the weight of anticipation loomed, and Lily could only hope that the moment wouldn't slip away. Would Megan finally break her silence, or would fear keep her trapped within herself? The cafe buzzed, the laughter echoed, and there they were, dangling on the edge of change. What would it take for Megan to finally let go? Megan's breath came in shaky bursts, and time felt stretched like taffy, unwilling to release its grip. Just as the chatter around them faded, a flicker of determination sparked in her eyes. I don't want to feel like this anymore," she said, the confession falling between them like a precious stone dropped into still water. Lily's heart surged with hope. That's it. That's a start," she encouraged, her voice soft yet urgent. "You're already breaking the silence." Megan fidgeted, her hands twisting in her lap. "But what if I can't change things? What if this is just who I am now?" There was a bleakness in her words as she stared at the cracked linoleum floor. "Megan, you're not defined by your struggles. You will never be just the girl who feels lost. You're so much more than that." Lily reached across the table, grasping Megan's hand. It felt small, a bit cold, but it also pulsated with potential. "Remember the first time we went swimming in that freezing lake? You were terrified of the water, but you jumped in anyway. You didn't let your fear stop you," Lily reminded her. A tiny smile flickered on Megan's lips. Yeah, but that was different. That was just a swim. No, it wasn't just a swim. It was you stepping into the unknown. You can do that again. Megan lifted her gaze, and for the first time, she seemed to see the flickering light of possibility in Lily's eyes. It just feels so heavy sometimes, she admitted, the vulnerability raw and real. Then let us lighten the load together, Lily said, squeezing her friend's hand tighter. What's the heaviest thing on your heart right now? Just share it. Megan inhaled sharply, as though readying herself for a dive into deep water. It's my parents. They don't know how much their fighting affects me. I feel like I'm a burden or worse, invisible. As she spoke, a tremor ran through her voice, and tears brimmed her eyes again. Lily felt her own throat constricting. You're not invisible, Megan. You matter. You deserve to be heard. But what if they don't listen? Megan whispered. Then we will find a way to make them hear you, Lily promised fiercely. You don't just deserve a voice. You need one. You have to show them how you feel. The hum of the cafe roared back to life at that moment, indifferent to the inner storm unfolding at their corner table. But there was something electric in the air now. Megan's brow furrowed as she processed the weight of what she was considering. What if I tell them how I feel and it just makes everything worse? Then we go through it together. You're not alone in this, remember? Lily's voice was steady, a lifeline amidst the turbulence. As Megan sat there, clenched fists relaxing ever so slightly, a flicker of something different sparked in her eyes. A sense of empowerment, perhaps. Maybe I could talk to them. Just one step at a time. Lily beamed with pride, feeling that tiny sliver of hope blossom between them. Exactly. One step, and I'll be right there with you, every step of the way. Suddenly, Megan leaned back, a whisper of a pulse racing through her. Feels scary, but also good? Yes. That's the courage growing inside you. Let it fill you up. Just then, a loud crash echoed from the counter as a waitress dropped a tray of drinks. The sudden noise shattered the moment, and both girls turned to watch the scene unfold. Tension released in a fit of giggles. But as laughter filled the cafe, Megan's expression shifted. The weight of her fears still lingered, but now it felt lighter somehow. Megan, Lily said, the gravity returning, are you ready to let your voice be heard? Will you take that step? In that charged moment, as the cafe buzzed around them and life went on, Megan paused, her fingers clenching and unclenching in newfound determination. And just when it seemed she might speak again, the cafe door swung open, and an unexpected figure stepped in, drawing both their gazes. Lily swallowed hard, sensing an inevitable shift. Who could it be, and how would it change everything they had just begun to navigate? Megan's eyes widened as she caught sight of the figure entering the cafe. The sunlight streamed in behind them, casting a halo around an older woman, evidently in her late 50s. Great waves of chestnut hair cascaded down her shoulders, framing her face as she scanned the cafe. Her sharp blue eyes landed on the booth where Megan and Lily were seated, and a flicker of recognition flashed across her features. Megan? The woman called, her voice confident yet laced with curiosity. Megan's heart raced, a mix of surprise and dread flooding her system. Mom? She whispered, barely managing to form the word. It felt foreign on her tongue. Lily tightened her grip on Megan's hand. You don't have to do anything you're not ready for, she murmured, her eyes darting between the newcomer and her friend. Megan felt her throat tighten. She was unsure if she wanted to confront her mother now. Each step the woman took toward them felt like a step deeper into a bunker of conflict. Can I join you? Her mother asked, her voice softer now, almost tentative. Megan glanced at Lily, who nodded encouragingly. She took a deep breath, forcing herself to nod as her mother slid into the booth across from them. Hey, sweetheart. Her mother's gaze lingered on Megan's face, searching for something understanding. Perhaps? What are you doing here? Megan asked, her tone sharper than she intended. I needed to see you, her mother replied, the tension palpable. I heard things have been tough lately. Megan studied her mom, searching for a glimmer of the warmth she so craved, but often felt lost amongst heated exchanges at home. You heard? She echoed, lowering her eyes to her lap, warmth turning to heat. Yes, from your dad. He worried about you. Is that why you're here? To fix things with him? Megan spat before she could catch herself. Her mother flinched slightly but held her gaze steady. No, that's not it. I want to fix things with you, Megan. I want you to talk to me. Megan's heart raced. This was the moment she feared and yearned for all at once. As she stared at her mother, she felt the echoes of her past arguments flooding back the harsh words, the shouting, the feeling of being shrouded in chaos. You don't understand. I feel like a ghost in this house, Megan said, her voice trembling. You and Dad fight all the time, and I don't know what to do about it. I had no idea you felt that way, her mother said, her voice taking on a gentler edge. I thought we were trying to protect you. You're not protecting me, Megan countered, tears brimming in her eyes. You're pushing me away. The atmosphere in the cafe shifted. Strangers glanced over with muted interest, their coffees momentarily forgotten. In that moment, it felt as if the entire world held its breath, waiting for the crucial thread of connection to be pulled. Megan, her mother's voice caught, the vulnerability breaking through her stoic exterior. I'm sorry, truly. I never wanted to make you feel like you didn't matter. You're my daughter, and I love you. The sincerity in her mother's eyes shattered something inside Megan. It was raw, real, and terrifying, yet it was also the glimmer of hope she had been longing to feel. I know you love me, but I need you to show it, not just with words but with actions. As silence enveloped them, Megan found strength in the sting of her vulnerability. As unsettling as it was, it felt good to voice her feelings, to finally let the truth spill out. Just then, Lily broke the heavy stillness, leaning forward. Megan, you're doing amazing. You're taking those steps. But before Megan could absorb Lily's encouragement, a loud voice erupted from the cafe entrance. Megan, there you are. A tall figure burst in, drawing everyone's gaze. Megan's older brother, Jason, wide-eyed and clearly out of breath. Jason, the surprise in Megan's voice melted the tension for just a moment. I heard you were here and I thought his voice trailed off as he looked at their mother, then back at Megan. Suddenly, the moment felt even heavier. It was an unexpected twist, the kind that could either fracture everything they'd just begun to piece together or bridge a connection they desperately needed. What new revelations would this unexpected family reunion unfold? Megan felt a whirl of emotions as Jason entered, relief, uncertainty, and a hint of annoyance all mixed into one. You didn't have to come, she said, trying to balance kindness with a wave of frustration. I know, but I had this gut feeling I should, he replied, looking between his sister and their mother. What's going on? You all look like you just stepped off a roller coaster. With a heavy breath, Megan glanced at her mother, who seemed just as uncertain. Mom and I were talking, she said slowly, unsure how to frame the whirlwind of their emotions. About everything. Everything like what? He prompted. About how I feel invisible at home, Megan admitted again, her voice breaking slightly. It felt impossibly liberating to say it aloud. Megan, her mother interrupted, a sense of urgency in her tone. I had no idea. We all must have been too caught up in our own stuff to see you. I'm always here, Megan reiterated, the conversation feeling both empowering and strangely surreal. Jason leaned in closer, the tension dissolving a little. You're not invisible to me. I know it's been hard. He turned to their mother. We're all a mess. I just wish we could talk more. In that moment, everything shifted. All the walls that had kept them apart began to crack. Talking as a start, Lily chimed in, her voice warm and supportive. There's so much healing in sharing. Megan's heart quickened as Jason nodded, clearly taking things in. She could feel hope blossoming between them, a string of connection weaving tighter. Their mother was silent for a moment, as if processing the gravity of it all. You're right. We can't just keep pretending everything's okay. We need to communicate, she said finally. Each of us. Megan nodded slowly, tears brimming in her eyes, a mix of relief and disbelief washing over her. Can we really do that? I believe we can, Lily replied, squeezing Megan's hand in affirmation. Baby steps. As they continued to talk, the rest of the cafe faded into the background. It was just them, a family, one step at a time, beginning to rebuild and rediscover each other. The shouting just a memory now, all replaced by whispers of love and understanding. Before long, laughter broke through the heaviness. Jason recounted silly stories from their childhood, and for the first time in what felt like forever, the air felt lighter, filled with nostalgia. Lily watched as Megan's tense shoulders relaxed, a genuine smile taking shape. Do you remember the time we got stuck in that tree? Jason asked, his eyes alight with mischief. And you refused to come down till Dad made you hot chocolate? Megan giggled at the memory, the laughter echoing like fresh air in a room filled with dust. I was scared. Maybe we should all climb a tree soon, their mother said lightly, as a way to reconnect. Megan turned to her, genuinely surprised at the suggestion. Really? Why not? Her mother smiled, her heart opening little by little toward newfound possibility. Let us place bets on who needs the most therapy afterward. Amidst the laughter, Lily felt pride swelling in her chest. Their journey had started with whispered fears, but it had turned into a vibrant conversation, dynamic and alive, capturing the essence of who they were. As Megan looked around, she felt a powerful surge of connection. I want to be heard, she said softly, and I want you all to want that too. Then let us keep talking, Jason encouraged, the warmth of understanding wrapping around them like a blanket. Lily felt a joy unlike any she had ever known. All the struggles, all the moments of fear, they led to this. The conversation could shift everything for Megan and her family. Slowly but surely, they began opening up further, sharing thoughts that were long buried beneath silence. As the evening wore on, tears were shared, laughter spilled freely, and the walls began to tumble down. Standing just a few feet away, Claire watched with a full heart as Lily leaned into her newfound role, her voice echoing as she supported Megan, extending a lifeline to someone who once felt so far out of reach. Maybe it was all unfolding, just as it should. In the warmth of the cafe's muted glow, the world felt alive with possibility. They all had so much work ahead, but it began with this. A new language of understanding, weaving together the threads of their shared humanity as they wrapped up the evening. Promises were made to keep the communication flowing, to not let life's chaos drown out their voices. The departure wasn't with the sound of silence. It was filled with hopeful anticipation, laughter, and love. Megan left the cafe, hand in hand with her mother and brother, the weight on her heart lighter than it had been in ages. We'll climb that tree soon, okay? Megan suggested, looking back at Lily. Lily smiled brightly, absolutely. I'll bring the hot chocolate. And just like that, the shadows of doubt began to fade from Lily's heart as well. The prospect of continuing to speak up no longer felt daunting. It felt liberating. They were all growing, learning to bridge those gaps in meaningful ways. And as they stepped out into the cool evening air, with stars shining above, there was an unspoken promise hanging in the air. For the first time in ages, silence felt like a thing of the past, a whisper of what had been, overshadowed by their shared voices echoing into the night. Now, let this story inspire you. You need to subscribe to the channel now. Don't miss our next exclusive stories. Leave a like to fuel the algorithm and show your support. Comment how Lily and Megan's journey made you feel. And most importantly, share this video with at least 5 friends who need to witness this powerful transformation. This is the moment to rally together and spread the love. Don't wait not even one more second.